All right. Good morning, YouTube. Having my coffee. Um, I wanted to do the next video for the game development log series, and I didn't really work on this yesterday. I haven't really worked on it today yet either. But I guess on Saturday I was working on just kind of creating a settlement. I think last time I made a video, I was talking about how I was going to try to create a mock settlement idea. So for this, I was just kind of focusing on like a healing building, like a Pokemon Center, a shopping building, like a Pokemart, a residential building, so just like a generic building with residents in them, and then a church. I don't know what I want to do with the church, but because I have this faction that I'm kind of calling the Templar, I kind of just wanted to play with the idea of, you know, a church, and maybe you'd see these churches kind of scattered throughout. Maybe they'd be kind of like these quest sites where the Templar would give you quests uh, throughout the journey if you wanted to side with them. And then I was thinking about like in my notifications, maybe creating a school as well, something to kind of I guess like counter, I guess. So you can do like church quests or you can do school quests, Templar, Manheim, quests throughout the adventure, like side quests, I guess. I was thinking about like tiering the quests as like you've got your main plot quests, and then you've got your kind of Templar Manheim quests, and then maybe you've got a third tier of quests for like your average citizen civilian kind of thing. So I was thinking about like maybe I should create a quest system, um, although if I do that, then I'm probably gonna start looking into the mods that I have, just because that might be a little bit more complicated than, um, you know, with the vanilla pack. So I'm at this point where I'm like, do I want to start trying to implement mods into the system, or do I want to continue to, um, I guess, work on the base game? Do I want to like flesh out the world a little bit more, work on the art? Do I want to work on, I guess, the mods and the programming side of things? Do I want to start doing character creation, that kind of stuff? So we'll go into the actual game. This is kind of what I was working on. I don't know why I had settlement inside of dungeon, but this is kind of the oh, move this up here just so it's a little bit more organized. So the settlement is really based off of like, I guess a pallet town. Like, that's where the player's house is. That's where Gary Oak's house is, or whatever. This is an open space, and then this was Professor Oak's laboratory, and you can see like the water and the fence, and then there's like the route going to Route One. So really, it was just kind of like these are gonna be staples that I have in every town: a healing building and a place to buy things. And then these will probably also be some sort of staple where there's residential buildings, and then the churches, as I was talking about. So the church is a little bit more, white marble kind of building. Um, kind of wanted it to have this like this facade of I don't know if I'd say wealth, but just status. That like a lot of the civilians might value the church, that kind of stuff, and then like some other civilians might value the school. I don't know. I want there to be this kind of contrasting kind of opinions on either people who are like fans of church or people who are fans of school throughout the world. Is the kind of vibe I'm going for. So we can go in and kind of look at these a little bit. Um, you can see kind of how we're starting to collect these little building teleports in the testing area. So if we go into here, we arrive in the settlement, and you can come up here, and that takes you out of the settlement. If we go into the inn, I'm trying to work on these like transitions. So you may have noticed in the dungeons one, but when you go into the building, it kind of pauses for 30 seconds or 30 frames, not 30 seconds. So there's a bit of a pause. It doesn't go immediate. I kind of like those kinds of like transitions into different maps that are a little bit more customized. What I kind of want to do, I don't know if I have a mod for it, but once I kind of go through the door and the character disappears, I like the idea of it like the get too artistic for minimum viable product, this is kind of where I start to get a bit. I derail myself from minimum viable products, creating the most of a finished looking product. While we have that like very simplified version of the game, yeah, I kind of need to get that into more of a finalized product. But we go into here. This is like a little inn, so it's pretty much just do you want to stay. There's no price of how much it costs at this current moment, just because I don't want to be dependent on having money on my character all the time. So there's a little jingle. It fades out, fades back in, and it's just like Nurse Joy in Pokemon, where it just heals your party to full health. There's some things on the, some decorations, some medicine cabinets, some like, I guess, areas where you can talk. I don't know if I like this red kind of stuff. It looks a little bit too psychic, like if you go into like a medium's house. So I might change this furniture up a little bit. My assets for furniture are pretty limited though right now. I like the idea of there being like these chests in every house. It kind of like would be where the people keep their wealth. I like them to be locked. Maybe if you do a quest for them, you can unlock it and get something, or maybe there will be a thief stealing mechanic where you can steal stuff. But then that would have to probably, I'd probably have to do like some sort of rapport system, implement something like that, or like just a reputation system. If you steal too much, maybe you can like automatically incline to go towards one side or the other, depending on what faction these people were. Like if they were more Anaheim or more Templar, and you steal from them, maybe you just lose rapport from that. I don't know. Still kind of, I just wanted to implement that chest just to kind of have it. I haven't really made any items in the game aside from like the key items. This is the shop, so there's a little rug and like little decorations, stuff like that. Chests, like I was talking about, clothing, and then armor and weapons kind of stuff. This guy, Clerk Dirk, that's just the first name that came to mind. Care to buy anything? There's this buying screen. With mods, I'll probably stylize it a bit more. He isn't selling anything, buying anything right now, but as we get items, we can start testing that stuff, buying it here. So that's just something to have. This is kind of a residential place, so I was kind of playing with like sizes of all the buildings. I kind of like these thick walls. I don't know, they kind of, the black screen, kind of on the outside over here. I don't know, I think it's kind of a little bit too big when you kind of fill the entire screen, and it kind of gives off the impression that it's indoors with a black screen. That's just, I guess, my opinion. I was playing with some things where these kids are kind of just moving around and then continuously. You can talk to them and pretty much they just say some stuff. So, just little kids, then you got some parents that just gave them random names. Kind of go up to their bedrooms, and I like the idea of them having two different rooms for their bedrooms. You could implement something with doors that kind of block this and you have to open the door, but I think that that's kind of not really as fun of a mechanic for this kind of style of JRPG. Like in Pokemon, I don't remember there being like doors on like top floors or anything like that. In fact, in Pokemon, I remember like bedrooms were just like the entirety of the second floor, and you'd always be like, "Where's your mom's bed?" So I don't know. I kind of like this kind of style to start. I might revise it, but that's kind of what I wanted to do there. And then just their standard kitchen stuff, a little like board top table. Again, these are very minimum assets that just come with the game, so I'm not getting too fancy with the decorations. And then this is the church, and church has different music. That's a little bit more solemn, I'd call it. These are kind of like the pews, and then this is kind of like the altar where I guess people would pray and stuff like that. Again, even the church has their own chest. They have like a bucket of like holy water. Maybe I'll have some fun with like an organ where you could like play some songs or something just as like a little mini activity to do. But I guess this would just be kind of like maybe a quest area, like I was talking about, where you could do stuff for the Templar. And the assets for the school are more in the like science fiction category. So if I close this up and go into the assets, let's just make a new map just to show you. So right now for my tile sets, I have outside, which is kind of what I've been using. It's very basic kind of stuff, and you can use these like buildings. With this is kind of like an example of what the assets kind of look like. And then you've got your science fiction ones. And so what I could probably do is go into Photoshop and kind of merge them into one so I can kind of use the same assets on the same map, because currently a limitation of this is that you can only use one tile set per map. So I couldn't use like if I were to create a settlement like this, I would have to use all the tile sets from this pack. I couldn't use the science fiction ones. And so if I were to make a town like this and create a school, it wouldn't be the exact tile set that I want, because it would be, I think the better school tile sets are in the science fiction ones down here. So if you go into like the science fiction one, it has a lot more modern stuff. And part of me doesn't want to merge it because I do think that it's more, I guess it's interesting. It would be kind of like weird, I guess, to see like these like modern like vending machines, and you've got these bathtubs and these just modern office chairs and toilets, plumbing stuff in like a an old school kind of fantasy setting. So I don't know how much I want to merge them. um it would be kind of cool, like you got laptops and stuff like that, just piping, and but I think there are like student office desks somewhere on here. um I don't know if I can find them, but like, yeah, like, these are school chairs, and then these are like school desks right here. So I don't know like how I want to implement the school, because the assets currently um, for the school inside here, they don't really have anything that is really a teaching. I guess I could just do like some stools. And the other one, I think they have like a podium, which is good for like a teaching stand. In this one, I don't really know if they have anything like that. So it could be, they have like anvils and stuff for blacksmiths and like magic circles, but I don't know if they have any podiums. Yeah, I don't think they do. So I don't know. We'll see what we do for the school, because it would be kind of nice to have them on the same map so I can at least put them in the same town without it getting too messy. So that's just kind of an obstacle I'm thinking of. You know, Going back to, I guess, these the dev logs and the notifications. Still have a notification for creating a tutorial. This is creating a school. This was to create a gym like in Pokemon. So like for these badges here, where's that file at? So if I go back to the MVP, I just have them in a little like nook over here on the MVP. I was thinking about like, how I have in the settlement, how I have a building for the church, thinking about creating a building for like those, like how there's like a standardized building for gyms, at least on the exterior. Um, and then what was the other notification? After creating a gym, I also had creating classes. So in games where there's classes, like Dungeons and Dragons has like the fighter and the wizard and stuff like that. I was thinking about maybe investing some time into focusing on the classes. Currently I have damage, tank, support, but just kind of like playing around with like all the possible outcomes, maybe making some like signature moves and skills besides the standard attack, guard, kill. Again, I don't know if I want to get too. In the past, I've gotten really like crazy with a lot of these types of skills, because I don't know. I like it to be like fleshed out, but I think it's hard to like learn the games if there are a lot of skills, um, especially if they're just like thrown at you. So I don't know how I want to do that. Sometimes with like characters, I'll create like 60 characters, and that's just too many characters for like a new player to utilize effectively. So I don't know. I want to keep it simple, but I also want to test the limits. Um, so I don't know how much I'm gonna really get into that. I think the best thing to do would probably be to focus on like just like a standard school building and a standard like gym, just to start. Maybe I'll expand this out a little bit and just like incorporate them on the same map. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's good for this update. Hopefully next time I have the school and the gym thing. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge in the next video. I'll see you. Have a good day.